Hi, I'm Meredith Marr from the University of Maryland Medical Center. Today we're discussing bariatric surgery with patient navigator Ashley Olhausen from the Center for Weight Management and Wellness. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks to all of you for watching. We invite you to leave your questions for Ashley in the comment section below, and be sure to like this video if you're watching. Ashley, what is bariatric surgery exactly?
So bariatric surgery is a surgical procedure to make your stomach smaller, to help you eat less, and eventually lose weight.
So how is that, I guess what would be the benefit to the surgery versus just trying to lose the weight on your own?
So bariatric surgery is for people who have tried to lose weight on their own. So if you have been trying dieting, exercise, taking medications to help you lose weight and they're failing. So you've gone through the motions, you've lost weight, you've gained weight, you come back and you're just like, I can't do it. We are here to help you and give you a tool to help you lose weight.
About how long after they've started trying to lose the weight on their own or taking medications should they then start to consider weight loss surgery? Is it after like 5 years of trying, or I mean, you don't want them to give up right away,
yeah,
right?
Everybody's different. So like there's some people that takes them 10 years to make the decision to have surgery. There's some people that it takes them 3 years. Some people it takes them like, hey, like I heard about this. This sounds like a great option for me. I know friends that have done it that are like, this is what I need to do. So everybody's journey, just such as life, is different. So everybody's, when they come in to decide to have surgery, it's whenever it's right for them.
And who is a good candidate for the surgery?
So to qualify for surgery, you have to be over 18 in our program. And we go up to about 65, 70, depending on health criteria. And then you have to have a body mass index of 35 to 40 with a comorbidity. And then if your body mass index is over 40, you qualify just based on that.
What would some of the comorbidities be for the under 40?
So if your BMI is under 40, the comorbidities would be such as like sleep apnea, type 2 diabetes, or like high cholesterol or high blood pressure.
What are some things that would exclude somebody from being a candidate?
There are a few exclusions to bariatric surgery. Those would be discussed with Dr. Klickman. He'd be able to better decide what would or would not be a candidate. But most people, as long as their doctors clear them, if they have any issues, they get clearances from all their doctors, and if everybody's on board with them having surgery, shouldn't be a problem.
So you mentioned Dr. Klickman. Who else would be on a patient's care team?
So a lot. So we have Dr. Klickman, obviously. We have 3 dietitians on staff, which are all in-house. And then we have a nurse practitioner, and then all of our administrative staff.
And you're, as the patient navigator, what's your role in dealing with the patients or building that relationship?
Yeah, no, so I am with the patient from day one through surgery, and then I continue maintaining contact after surgery. I will be with them on their first appointment. So when they come in to meet with Dr. Klickman, they'll see me, they'll see Dr. Klickman, they'll see our dietitian, and we kind of get the ball rolling there. And then through the next few months to get to surgery, I make sure they're getting all their clearances completed and they're getting through to surgery, and just making sure they're on the right steps.
What are the different types of procedures that we offer for bariatric surgery?
We do 2 procedures here at the University of Maryland. We do the sleeve gastrectomy and the gastric bypass.
And what are the major differences between the 2?
The differences in the 2, the sleeve gastrectomy will take out about 2/3 of your stomach, so making it like the size and shape of a banana, but like the size of a highlighter, so pretty skinny. And then the gastric bypass makes your stomach into a small little pouch, and we reroute your intestine to bypass the main portion of the stomach.
And how is it determined which of those procedures is best fit for each patient?
So it really depends on your health history. So if you have certain things will push you in a direction to the bypass, certain things might push you in the direction of the sleeve. And that's definitely something that is a good conversation to have with Dr. Klickman, so you guys can together come up with a plan that works best for you personally.
Does one have a shorter recovery time than the other, or are they about the same?
They're pretty much about the same. You're in the hospital the same amount of time. You're back to work in the same amount of time. Everything's pretty much the same. It's just whatever you decide is based on what works better for you.
And what would your biggest tip be for someone who has just had the surgery in order for them to be most successful in their weight loss journey?
Biggest tip, to trust the process. Dr. Klickman has been a bariatric surgeon for many years, and he and his team and all of us have created a great program to maintain healthy life for our patients after surgery. So we educate you on what to eat, how to eat, why it's important, why we want you doing these things, and really get to the root causes of making sure that you understand why we want you doing these, not just throwing you out there and saying, here's your surgery, good luck. Like, we really truly care to make sure that you have the best outcome possible.
And what are the first steps that a person should take who's considering weight loss surgery?
So the first step would be to obviously want to have surgery. And then if that is something that you're interested in, we do have multiple seminars across the state of Maryland to make it convenient for patients all around. So we're over on the Eastern Shore, we're down in Southern Maryland, we're here in Baltimore and Anne Arundel County. So we're trying to broaden our horizon. And also it's available online 24/7 as well. So you can go on our website, you can get all the information there, and then we get you in to meet with Dr. Kligman.
So once you meet with Dr. Kligman, he goes over your health history. It's determined that you would be a good candidate for one of the two procedures. What does that journey look like leading up to the actual surgery?
Great. Yeah, so every patient's going to be different, and it depends on insurance. So insurance does cover the procedure, again, if you meet those criteria of the BMI and so on like that. But after that, if your insurance company requires 6 months of nutrition, you will have to go through. Also have some other clearances that get completed, like a psych eval, a cardiac clearance, some blood work just to make sure you're healthy and healthy enough to undergo the procedure. After that, we get you submitted to your insurance company, and it can take anywhere from a couple days to a couple weeks to get that approval, and then we get you into the operating room.
So I know you mentioned insurance will cover bariatric surgery itself. Post-surgery, after they've lost a lot of weight, they potentially have some loose skin, is plastic surgery always needed? And if it is needed, is that also covered by insurance?
It is not necessarily always needed. It's up to the patient. Some patients lose an extreme amount of weight and have a lot of excess skin, and they want to get it removed. Sometimes it is covered by insurance. Other times it is considered a cosmetic procedure. You would have to come out of your own pocket. But we work closely with the plastic surgery department here at the University of Maryland and have a great connection with them, and they do a wonderful job with our patients.
So when patients come in before their surgery, what's the biggest concern that they typically have?
The biggest concern is usually that I get from patients is they are slightly embarrassed, and embarrassed that one, that they've got to this point, that their friends or family think that it's the easy way out, and they're just like, oh, I'm here, I'm embarrassed, whatever. But it's not the easy way out. It is a lot of work to get to surgery. It's a lot of work after surgery. So I try to encourage patients to understand that this is not an easy way out. This is a lifestyle change. This is 100% on you. We're helping you out. We're giving you this tool to help you make the correct lifestyle changes and to make the right decisions. But it's hard work for the patient, and I don't want anybody to ever feel like they're taking the easy way out and feel uncomfortable or guilty or just ashamed that they are choosing bariatric surgery.
For someone who may have had the surgery, whether it be the sleeve or the bypass or even lap band surgery, are they able to have surgery for a second time?
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends if there are complications that happened with the surgery. If sometimes it can be covered, like there can be a revision if there has been weight gain. Whether or not your insurance company is going to cover it, that is up for debate. But there are options, and Dr. Kligman does do revision surgeries if and when they are necessary, yes.
Do you have any idea, I know you're not necessarily clinical, but do you have any idea how long you would have to wait until you would get that second surgery? So let's say you had the surgery, you've gained weight, you lost weight initially, you gained weight back, it's like 2 or 3 years later. Is that enough time to pass between having the revision surgery? Or, I mean, would you have to go through the psych eval again and all of that?
Yes and no. Okay. Some people would, some don't. So again, if there has been a complication, if there's an internal complication with the surgery, that maybe if you went to a different surgeon, they made your pouch too big or made something something was done incorrectly anatomy-wise, then the revision could be done without having to redo the process. But if you gained weight just based on not following direction, so to speak,
right,
then we would probably have you go read through the process again, go back to nutrition counseling, go back to the psych eval, make sure there's no causes mentally that may be making you want to eat more and maybe you gain weight. So it's a case by case basis.
And then you mentioned people come in and they feel embarrassed or feel like they're taking the easy way out. What are some other myths about bariatric surgery?
Other myths about bariatric surgery? There are so many. Like, not everyone's going to gain their weight back. Some people are going to gain back 5-10 pounds, but it's life. Not everybody gains their weight back, and a lot of people think that. A lot of other myths are that if you have the gastric bypass, you're going to look sick, because people will be like, oh, like I know so and so that had it, and they just look so sick. They look sickly. I don't want to look sick. Well, again, Dr. Kligman and our staff have made sure that we provide our patients with such education to make sure that does not happen. They are going to be taking vitamins, they're going to be eating properly, exercising, drinking water, doing everything to make sure they maintain a healthy lifestyle. So that is something I like to make sure people don't get that in their head. Like, you are not going to look sick after surgery. You are going to be healthy. You are going to be happy, and you're going to be able to interact with the world differently. And like I said, the health benefits of surgery are so great.
I guess what else should people know about it, do you think, before we take audience questions? Is there anything else any other facts or myths that you think somebody who's considering surgery should really know? How much weight can they expect to lose, I guess, after surgery? What's the average monthly or weekly?
So on average, if you say you're 100 pounds overweight, with the gastric bypass, you will lose about 80% of that. So you'll lose about 80 pounds. Some people obviously do better. Some people don't do as well. In the sleeve gastrectomy, roughly 60-70% of your excess body weight. So 60, 80 pounds. So, but that can come in 6 months, it can come in a year. Everybody's weight loss is different. And Dr. Kligman usually projects in the first few months after surgery that people lose 0.5 pound to 1 pound a day following surgery.
So if they lose up to 80% of their weight on average just from having the surgery, is the other 20% dependent on exercising, or what would contribute so that if they're 100 pounds overweight that they would be able to achieve that goal?
Exercise is definitely a huge factor.
And definitely. Then how long after surgery are they able to start exercising again?
So we want patients to start exercising right now. So if you can just walk, if you can get in a pool and do aerobic activities in a pool to not weight bearing, do whatever you can. But as soon as you wake up from surgery, Dr. Kligman wants you up and walking within 2 to 4 hours after surgery. So whether that's just around the little hospital ward, whether that's whatever you can do, we want you up and walking. And then when you get home, walk, keep walking, do what you can. And then after 6 weeks or so, you can start lifting heavy, pushing, pulling, so you can get into any strength training that you might want to do. Whatever you enjoy, we want you to do. So if you don't like to walk, don't walk. Go to a class at your gym. Go swimming. Go do whatever that you enjoy, because this is what you're going to be doing forever. So if you want to run a half marathon, if that's your goal, then set out and do that. So it's really, we want you to do whatever's best for you, but at a minimum, we want you walking or walking in the pool or whatever for at least 45 minutes, 4 days a week at a minimum. And
then immediately following surgery, the first day or second day, are you able to start eating solid foods at that point, or are you on a liquid diet?
You're on a liquid diet.
Okay.
Because if you think, like, when you say you sprain your ankle's going to swell. And it's going to hurt, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. That's kind of what's happening when we do surgery. So your stomach is going to be a little swollen. So you're not going to be able to eat you're not going to be able to go home and eat a real meal, because you're not going to be able to get it down. So that's why we put you on a liquid diet. And then slowly over time, you will be able to eat some soft foods, and then you'll be able to get back to a modified regular diet.
Okay. All right. Before we take more questions from the audience, and we're here with Ashley, just a reminder, we're discussing bariatric surgery. She's from the Center for Weight Management and Wellness at University of Maryland. Some introductions behind the camera. We have Grace Purse and Stephanie Huffner, both from the University of Maryland Marketing and Communications team. Steph, do we have questions?
Yes, for those who just joined us, actually, Paul Smith asks, will Medicare and Medicaid pay for this surgery?
Yes. So Medicare, again, like we discussed earlier, you have to qualify for surgery. So you have to meet the BMI, body mass index requirement. Once you meet that, you should be covered for surgery, yes.
How is BMI determined?
BMI is determined, it's a ratio of your height and weight. So if you say you are 300 pounds and 5'2", your BMI is going to be over 40. So you're going to qualify for surgery. That can be found on our website as well.
Do you take into consideration like the amount of muscle mass? Because I'm sure there are, let's say, professional football players out there who might have a crazy BMI, but they're not necessarily overweight.
Yeah, so BMI, we take it into consideration more when you are talking more overweight. So if you're a professional athlete, you might want to take your body fat percentage instead of a body mass index.
Okay. What's our next question?
Caroline Hoffman asks, do you have to reach a certain weight to have surgery?
Yes and no. So it really depends on how you're built and how much you weigh. And it will depend on your insurance company as well as your conversation with Dr. Kligman. So we might have a goal weight for you to get to based on just how you're built, or your insurance company might set a goal weight for you to have done.
So speaking of how someone's built, where they carry most of their weight, does that also come into play with like the success of their bariatric surgery, or does it not really matter where they hold their weight?
It doesn't necessarily matter. I can't tell you where you're going to lose your weight from, though. So some patients will come in and want to lose their weight from their stomach, but maybe not necessarily their legs or whatever. We don't know where it's going to come off of. So it could come off all from below, whatever, but usually you'll proportionally lose weight. Yeah.
What's our next question?
Eliza Lynn asks, would someone qualify if weight causes them knee and ankle pain?
That definitely wouldn't deter you from having surgery. That's definitely a benefit to having weight loss surgery, is to lose the weight, because you won't have the joint pain anymore. But that won't necessarily be a reason for you to have surgery. That's not technically a comorbidity. But if you qualify with another condition, then yes, that would aid in you having weight loss surgery.
Do you have another question?
Yes, last question. Mark Morris asks, is the kitchen really where I can make a difference in my weight loss journey?
Absolutely. So what you eat definitely plays a huge factor into weight loss. And that is something that you guys will discuss when you come in to meet with Dr. Kligman and our dietitians. They'll definitely go into what to eat, why it's important, so on and so forth.
So what makes how are we different here at University of Maryland from other entities, hospitals, outpatient centers who offer bariatric surgery?
So we have been a center of excellence for the last 10 years. So that's pretty impressive for us. And also we have been expanding our scope of service. So we are, like I mentioned earlier, we are all over the state of Maryland. So we want to come to you because getting down to Baltimore City isn't always the easiest for patients. So we have made it our mission to get as far as possible to make the patients be able to come back for their follow-up appointments. We really want patients to continue to follow up. Like, we are with you. This is a lifelong procedure and lifelong journey for you. So we want to make sure that you are staying on track, you're taking your vitamins, you're maintaining your health. So it is important for us, for you to come back to us.
Would the surgery be held in Baltimore at University of Maryland Medical Center?
Yes.
Okay.
So we only do surgery here, which is great because we have a dedicated floor for bariatric surgery patients after surgery. So everybody there is aware of what they need, what not to give them, so the staff isn't going to come up and bring you pancakes after surgery. You're going to be given what you need. So we want to keep everybody here.
Great.
Yeah.
So for people watching who still are interested, have questions, how can they reach you, or what should they do next if they're interested in bariatric surgery here?
Definitely. I believe our link to our website is below, so you can either register for that online seminar or register for one online or one in person. And then after that's completed, then you get in, make your appointment to meet with Dr. Kligman. And any additional questions can be commented below, or you can give our office a call for any other questions.
Okay, great. That's all the time we have. Thanks again for watching. If you have questions for Ashley, you can leave them in the comment section below, and we'll get back to you within 48 hours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, what is up? So it's me again. It's me again. Have you missed me? Haters will say that they didn't miss me, but I know some of y'all missed me, okay? So I think I'm actually just going to... That didn't work out. So guys, I haven't made a video in a while, and that is because I've been busy with life and with school. So recently I got into kayaking. This is good. The trees will help us.
Okay, just turn around.
Put your arms in it. Put your arms in it.
Oh my god. Alright.
Don't make me laugh. I'm gonna pee. What's that Pocahontas song? What's around the riverbank? Waiting just around the riverbank. Yo, fuck this kayak. That was fun. So if you guys noticed, I didn't make a video related to like exactly when I hit the 2-month mark since my surgery, and that was because no difference between like that 1 month to the 2nd month transition. Everything was pretty much the same. I felt the same about my water intake, about working out. Everything was pretty much the same. But now it's almost gonna be like 3 months in a couple of weeks, because it's gonna be exactly 3 months, April 27th. So I mean, we're pretty close to that. It's 2 weeks away, so I just thought I'd make the video right now. So I have a couple of notes here that I just took down just so I know what I'm gonna be talking about. So if I'm looking down, it's at this. So I think first things first, I'm just gonna start off with stats, because that's pretty much, you know, the most important thing, at least to me it is. My starting weight was 270 pounds. That was my highest weight ever recorded for me. My current weight, drum roll please, my current weight is 200 pounds. So 3 months post-op surgery, I have had a total weight loss of 70 pounds. Pat myself on the back for that. So thank God everything has been going really good. Referring back to my 1 month post-op video, when I was talking about having trouble like chugging cold water and how I missed that, well, you guys, I can chug my cold water all I want, because that is not a difficulty anymore. And I never thought that I would miss something so simple in our everyday routines, but honestly, it's so true. Like, you don't know what you had until it's gone. But I got it back. I can finally chug my cold ice water, and that is so refreshing. And I can do that without feeling super full. Well, I still kind of feel full if I chug like the whole water bottle, which I have yet to do, but you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. So when it comes to food, I can pretty much eat anything, except the only food that really like that if I take like 2 bites of it and it just doesn't sit well at all and I have to puke it out is burgers. Like any type of burger, any type of like sandwich, like I just can't. Like I don't know if it's like because it's thick. I really don't know. I just like just biting into a sandwich or a burger or anything like that, it just doesn't sit well in my stomach, whether it be, I don't know, the greasiest burger, which I haven't had, or like the most healthiest, I don't know, turkey panini. It just doesn't sit well. So since I'm basically 3 months out of surgery, I can pretty much eat anything if I wanted to. So if I wanted to go back to my bad eating habits, I pretty much could, but I choose not to, because this is why I took this step into having this, you know, lifestyle change of having this surgery. Why would I want to go back into eating the unhealthy foods, even though mentally I'm like, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna go eat, I don't know, I'm gonna go eat at Taco Bell and I'll have a taco and I'll only eat like 1 taco and it'll be fine. But no, I don't do that. So when it comes to food, I really, you know, restrict myself a lot, and sometimes it's a little bit too much. I even had this scary encounter once when I thought I wasn't losing weight fast enough, and I was like working out and I was stalling. So I thought that I was stalling for like a really long period of time, and I wanted the scale to move. So I basically starved myself more than I already starve myself, you know, because now with this surgery I basically like don't eat as much. So if I already don't eat as much and I restrict myself even more, I'm basically starving myself. So I had a scary encounter when once I did that and I ended up fainting, because I'm an idiot. I'll admit that I'm a fucking idiot. Don't ever do that. I don't recommend that. That was the scariest shit of life. I fainted in the shower, which is basically like the worst place to faint, because you can hit yourself on the faucet, on the shower head, like anything, on the side of the tub. You can I could have died, like literally, I'm not even exaggerating. But thankfully I was fine. I only bruised both my knees. Yeah, I bruised both my knees. I don't know. That was like the scariest thing of life. So don't starve yourself, guys. Like either way, you're gonna lose weight. And this is also like something that I'm telling myself right now. Izzy, girl, you're gonna lose weight. Just relax. It takes us time, okay? So working out is a really big thing now in my life. I try to work out at least 4 times a week because of school, but I try to work out 4 times a week, and I used to start doing cardio, but I'm just doing, you know, weights now. I'm trying to get my strength up. I basically just focus on weights when I go to the gym, so I just get to tone up, because when it comes to skin hanging, my arms are my worst enemy when it comes to that. So I am going to be looking at some before and after pictures with you guys. I just thought that would be really interesting. I love just doing collages. It's like my favorite thing ever, because when I look at myself in the mirror, I still see the girl that I used to be. Like I don't physically see myself like becoming thinner. But other people definitely have told me, oh my god, your waist is so much thinner and your face is slimmer. But when I look at myself in the mirror, I just don't see it. So I do these collages so just so I can like remind myself that I am indeed changing, both in and out. Holy shit, guys, like I never would have thought that my thighs would have lost weight. But when I did this comparison, I was like, holy shite. If you can tell, like in the bottom on the tiles, I'm standing exactly in the same like position, but then I didn't have no like thigh gap. Obviously when I'm walking now, like normally, I don't have a thigh gap neither, which is fine with me. Like I'll get it eventually. But like standing right there, I was just like, I was shook, you guys. I was definitely shook. So this is basically 1 month post-op, and then 3 months, you know, 2 months of later, which is now 3 months post-op. At a glance, you can't really see that much of a difference, but there definitely is a little bit of a difference, especially like maybe probably like in a couple of inches from the stomach area. And my butt now at 200 pounds is a little bit smaller, which I am totally fine with that, because my butt was like extremely big. It was like a little bit too much. And then this is a picture from the beginning to now, which holy shit, guys, like when I look back at that picture, I just remember being like so like in denial with myself. I used to like tell myself, you know, whatever, like I'm fat, but I love myself for who I am. But I mean, I wouldn't change nothing in the world about now. Like I don't regret my decision at all about having that surgery, because honestly, I know that if I wouldn't have chosen to have that surgery, it would have taken a lot out of me to lose all that weight that I had gained. So now that we're talking about regrets and that surgery, I am going to be talking about something, especially when it comes to us ladies, our hair. So I do have, you know, a lot of hair, and it is long. I just love my long hair. But one thing that really just like hit me like that was the hair loss that I'm having. I am losing so much fucking hair, and it's disgusting, because I love to wear black pants, and with my blonde ass hair on my black ass pants, you can like see a whole bunch of like strands of hair like all over my ass and all over my legs, and it's honestly so embarrassing to me. So here I have a clip that I took off of Snapchat, and this is after I washed my hair. So when I take a shower, when I wash my hair, it is when the most amount of hair falls out, and it's just disgusting. So let's watch this video. See how much hair that is? And then I'm just like, I'm just gonna grab all this hair in my hand. Look how much hair that is. And you know the sad thing about that is that it doesn't happen as much as that, but I do get a handful of hair every time I brush my head, and I don't know, it's like a pain. But once again, I wouldn't regret not having the surgery over losing my hair. Obviously I'm not gonna go bald, so I am gonna stand up right now and just show you a body overview. Okay, so I am wearing a white shirt, but this is just how I look right now. 360 angle. And then this is when I lift my shirt. Let me just put it under my bra. I still have this chunk of back fat, which is so fucking annoying, but at least I don't have like how I used to have it before. So my incisions have thankfully all healed up perfectly fine. Sometimes they're still a little bit like swollen and they itch a little bit, but that's fine with me. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's some definition in the stomach area. So now I'm gonna talk about fucking loose skin that I fucking hate. So this is gonna take a lot out of me to actually show you guys because it's the most embarrassing area of my body right now. It's the loose skin on my arms. Okay, are you ready? Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Whatever. Okay. Look, this is a lot of skin. This comes with, of course, like what my body is gonna go through, and it's gonna go through all these changes, but I just really, that's what I was telling you about. That's why I'm hitting more weights at the gym and stuff like that. How attractive are you? How attractive? Should this be the thumbnail? Fuck no. So guys, I think this is pretty much it. I don't have anything else to say other than thank you guys for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys!
Hi everyone, Lisa here with Mini Me in Tennessee, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please be sure that you hit that subscribe button before you leave, as I would love to have you join my family here at Mini Me in Tennessee. And also, if you're new here, I am a gastric bypass weight loss surgery patient. I did have gastric bypass surgery in July of 2016 and since have lost a little over 100 pounds. I am currently in the maintenance phase of my weight loss journey. Today's video is 5 tips for success after weight loss surgery. That is a question that I get often, is what do I feel like has contributed to my success as a weight loss surgery patient? I get this question a lot, and it's not just one thing, it's quite a few different things I feel like. And so I'm going to talk about 5 of those today, probably the ones that I feel that were the most important in my success. And just please remember that the things that I give you today may not necessarily work for you. This is just what works for me. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I am not a medical expert by any means. I am not the perfect bariatric patient. I slip up all the time. This is what I chose as the top 5 for me personally. And I thought I would share that with you guys since I get asked that question a lot. And these 5 are in no particular order. I just wrote down the first 5 that came to mind. Number 1, weighing and measuring my food. I have done this from the very first day that I started my 6-month medically supervised diet as a pre-op weight loss surgery patient. Since about months, I don't know, 6, 7, somewhere around in there, I started eating about 6 ounces of food, so a year and a half ago or so. And still at this phase in my journey, I can still only eat 6 ounces of food or less, depending on my restriction that particular meal or that particular day. I weigh my food to make sure that I only have 6 ounces on my plate, because I know that that's all I can eat. Therefore, if there's only 6 on my plate, I can't overeat. And I never, ever, ever go back for seconds. Never, ever, ever. That's something I used to do in the past, and I refuse to do that now, and I have never done that since the day of surgery. I feel like it's very important to know how much you're taking in. That way, if you're tracking, you know exactly how many calories, how many carbs, how many fats, and all that you're taking in, so that you meet your macros or attempt to meet your macros. And I just feel like it's such an important thing to do, no matter how far out you get. I'm not saying that you have to do it at every single meal, but do it occasionally just to make sure that you're still eyeballing the right amount of food. I get satisfied at 6 ounces or less. That's all I can eat. And if there's more on my plate because of my past with binge eating, eating disorders, emotional eating, if it's there, I'm going to try to eat it because I have a problem with wasting food as well. And at times I even make myself leave a bite or two on my plate, even if I could finish it, just to try to help train my thought process into realizing that just because it's there doesn't mean I have to eat it. Number 2, I have stayed on my bariatric diet. I feel that has been a huge contributor to my success. I've heard it time after time after time. I tried this diet. I tried that diet. It didn't work. I tried Weight Watchers. I tried the soup diet. I tried a liquid diet. I've tried the fruit diet. I've tried the veggie diet. I've tried this. I've tried that. And what happens when we do those things, guys? We might lose the weight, but once we go back to eating like a regular person, we gain it back, right? We gain it back and then some, right? That's what happens. That was the cycle that we went through over and over and over again when we were obese. That was one of the things that we all complained about, or the majority of us complained about, was this cycle of dieting for years and years and years. And did it work for us? No. That's why we had weight loss surgery, right? Because those diets don't work for us. I see this a lot in the community, people trying these pouch resets or some kind of a fad diet or going on liquids for 2 or 3 days or, whatever the case may be. Why are we doing these things? It didn't work for us before weight loss surgery. Why are we doing these things now? I don't get it. I just don't get that. I have stayed on my bariatric plan from day one, and I have never swayed from that. I know a lot of people do keto, and I'm not ragging on keto. I personally do not think that would work for me. 1, I'm gastric bypass, so I malabsorb fat. 2, I don't have a gallbladder. And the sound of all that fat just does not appeal to me. I know a lot of people in the community are on keto and they've had a lot of success with it, but that's not something that I feel like I could do for the rest of my life. So if that is something you're considering, please don't do it within the first year of your surgery. And the reason I say that is because the keto diet, the way I understand it, you're dropping your protein. And I really truly feel like you need as much protein as you can get during that first year. I truly believe that. This is just me talking. This is my personal opinions. I truly believe you need as much protein as you can possibly get. And if you decide to do that after your first year or before, if you so choose, please talk to your dietitian or your nutritionist. Let them know what your plan is. Let them help you figure out the right way for you to do it, especially if you're gastric bypass or DS or something along those lines where you have malabsorption, because your needs are going to be different than someone, say, who is VSG. That's just my personal opinion about that. But yes, I have always stayed on my bariatric plan. It has worked for me. Yes, I did have stalls at times. And yes, I did struggle through that, and it was hard. But guys, and I know hindsight is 20/20, but what you have to realize is stalls will break. It may take a while, especially if you're early out. I mean, if you hit a stall 4 months out, you're not done, guys. You're not done. You're just going through a body reboot, I guess is a good way to put it. Your body sometimes needs a chance to catch up. It's not used to you losing all this weight so quickly. And sometimes it's going to say, whoa, hold on, what's going on here? Let me figure out what's going on here, because all of a sudden I'm not getting the nutrients I used to get. I'm not getting the fat I used to get. I'm not getting the carbs I used to get. Let me think about this a little bit, and I'll get back to you. That's kind of the way I try to look at it. I know it's hard. I know when we hit stalls, it is so hard and it's so frustrating, especially when they last, you know, months and months. But if you are not done losing weight, you know, it's going to break. I know it's hard to be patient, but I'm just saying, be patient. Realize as long as you're on plan and you're doing everything right, just realize your body is trying to catch up, and it needs a little bit of time to do that. So try not to freak out as best you can. That being said, another thing that I would like to remind you guys, even though I lost well over 100% of my excess body weight, not everybody does that. The surgery itself guarantees you what? Like 60%? So if you lose 60% of your excess body weight, you're considered a successful weight loss surgery patient. Number 3, I tried not to beat myself up for slip-ups. Look, guys, we're all human. Do we not beat ourselves up for making one little slip-up? I hear it in the community all the time. Oh, I gained 4 pounds. It must have been because I ate a cookie at my sister's house over the weekend. No. One little cookie did not cause you to gain 4 pounds over the weekend. And we sit here and we try to overanalyze and overthink. Well, I've gained 4 pounds. What did I do wrong? Oh my gosh. What am I doing wrong? And have I stopped losing weight? What's wrong with me? What did I do? Body weight is going to fluctuate. Sometimes we get some water retention, especially as females. Around your cycle, you know, those things happen. Don't beat yourself up so much. And if you do have a slip up and it's a major slip up, take a deep breath, start over again tomorrow. We can always start over again. It's never too late, right? And don't think because you had a really bad breakfast that you just have to blow the rest of the day up too. If you decided to have a cinnamon roll for breakfast one morning, don't feel like just because you screwed up in the morning that you have to screw up the rest of the day too. I've heard this a lot in the community too. Well, I had such and such that morning, so I just went ahead and just ate whatever I wanted the rest of the day. You can make up for it, guys. You can make up for it. So, and don't beat yourself up. You're only human. It's okay once in a while. It's okay. Take some deep breaths. And start all over again. Number 4, and this one took me a while to realize, as you guys that follow me will know. You've got to get your head right. You've got to get your head right. I know I did this too. A lot of people do this. I am very guilty of this. I had it in my head pre-op that weight loss surgery was going to fix my life, fix everything about my life. If I could just be thin, everything else in my life would be fine, would be perfect. I just need to be thin and everything else will be fine. That's what I kept telling myself. And that's not true. It is not true. Being thin helps. You're healthier, you can do more things, you feel better, and you look better. In some opinions. But it doesn't fix this up here, guys. I have said this so many times throughout my journey. Weight loss surgery does not fix your head. One of the things that the psychologist said when I had my psychological evaluation for my approval for weight loss surgery was that I possibly have binge eating disorder, or he picked up on that in the test that I took, that questionnaire. And it's very true. At the time, I didn't realize it, and I thought, binge eating disorder, why, he's crazy. He's got to say something for the insurance approval. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was telling myself. Now, he was right. Not only do I have binge eating disorder, but I'm also addicted to carbs. I'm also addicted to sugar. And I'm an emotional eater, and all of it comes from up here. All the things that I've gone through in my life, all the ways that I've tried to deal with my anxiety, and I've always tried to do it with food. Sugar is like a drug for me. And I tried to tell myself at one point before I started going to therapy that I'm not binge eating anymore. I can't physically binge eat because I can't eat that much. Not true. Not true, guys. Binge eating is not about the amount of food you're eating. It's about the act of binging. Not about the amount you're eating, the act of binging. I have to work on that almost daily. I have the urge to do it all the time. I still do, even after weight loss surgery. Therapy is helping. It certainly is. Anxiety meds are helping. Depression meds are helping. I still have a long way to go, but it is helping. So what I would say to you is, if you feel you may have an eating disorder, if you feel you are an emotional eater, if you feel you have any kind of emotional attachments to food or sugar or carbs or breads or whatever the problem may be, please think about therapy. I feel it's so important. And I don't think enough people in the community seek it out. And I am scared to death of gaining back my weight. Scared to death of it. And I've got to learn how to cope with life and problems and anxiety and things without using food. And therapy is the only way I'm going to learn how to do that, because I discovered, a little over a year into this thing, that I can't do it on my own. So I know that sometimes it's hard to admit that we need outside help, and I know that there's such a stigma to mental illness or emotional issues or whatever. We sought out help for our obesity, right? So why not seek out help to help fix the problem up here that help contribute to our obesity? I really think it's important, guys. I really do. And number 5, last but not least, you need a support system. If you are pre-op, please figure out a support system. I have an amazing husband who has been very supportive of me, and I have some great kids. They weren't on board in the beginning, but everything's good now. And I think a lot of times when it comes to your really close family, they don't feel you need it because they don't see what you see when you look in the mirror. They think higher of us than we think of ourselves a lot of times. And so they don't always think we need it. And of course, there's always that stigma of it's the easy way out, but it's not, guys. It's not the easy way out. This has been one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. And it's still there today. It's a daily thing. It's a daily thing. I have to think about what I'm putting in my mouth. I have to think about what I'm putting in my grocery cart. And a lot of times when I get those naughty things that I get, I feel guilty about it when I get it home. It's all up here. But you really need a support system. If it's not your spouse and it's not your family, if you don't have anybody to help you out and to be supportive, you need to seek someone out. That is something the psychologist is going to try to figure out from you in that psychological evaluation. Do you have a support system? They know how important it is for you to have that. You have to seek out a support system. Family, friends, you know, therapist, YouTube, a support group. You've got to find some sort of support system because this is hard. This is hard, and you need somebody there to be able to lean on and go to when times get really bad, especially when you hit those stalls. Those stalls are hard. Those stalls are hard. And you need somebody there to help you through that. You need someone there to help you through the emotional times. Life happens sometimes, guys. For me personally, I've had some medical issues since my surgery, not necessarily because of my surgery, but other things have gone on. I've had deaths in the family. And if I hadn't had my husband there to help me through those times, I don't think I would be the success that's sitting here in front of you today. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my video. If you have not subscribed already, be sure you hit that subscribe button below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.